Welcome, everyone. This session that I created is for people who are looking to get into the industry. I wanted to give a little bit of introduction as to myself. My name is Roy Gal. I'm the owner of Memories Forever Travel Group. We'll call it an award-winning travel agency. We've been in the business for 24 years. I've been coaching and mentoring travel agents for the past 5 years. Anywhere people that are starting in the business, or we have quite a few that are $1 million producers. So this is kind of my sales pitch for for a minute or two. Anywhere else, that's about it in terms of the pitch. If anyone is interested at a later stage to get some more information about the mentorship program, um, I'm available to chat a little bit more. So, in general, what is a travel agent, or call it a travel agency? In today's age, you probably find a lot of people are saying, do you still use travel agents, right? We don't use travel agents anymore. We go to Expedia, we go to Orbitz, we just book our own. When you go to Expedia and when you go to Orbitz, you are technically booking with a travel agency. Expedia is a travel agency. It's what we call an OTA, an online travel agency. Um, so pretty much almost every booking that you are doing, every reservation that you've ever booked for yourself that is not directly with um, the company. So not directly with, let's say, cruise, if you book Royal Caribbean or you booked a specific hotel, but you went through all of the aggregators, the Google flights that direct you to other locations. They are a travel agency. And the way that it works, that each and every travel agency has, we'll call it a license number. We call it an IATA number, which is abbreviation for the International Association for Travel Agents. Everyone gets a license number, and that number allows you to book anything or almost anything and get commission on it. So when you are going and purchasing a cruise or a hotel or a Disney vacation or a car rental for yourself as a consumer, the commission is already bundled in it. And the commission varies, and we can chat about it, but it varies anywhere, let's say between 10 and 25% in terms of the commission that is already bundled in. As a regular consumer, you don't have the ability to earn commission, but once you have that IATA number, once you have the license to be a travel agent, you can book it either through a designated portal for travel agents or even directly with the hotel and gain commission, make commission on what it is that you sell. So that's technically how it works. You do have an option if you guys are looking to be a travel agent. There is the difficult way, we'll call it. You can become a travel agency. You can apply for a license to get that IATA number. There's a lot of hoop. There's a lot of jump thing. You need to work hard in order to obtain your own IATA number. I like to compare the travel agent industry to real estate because that seems like what people know the most. You can go and obtain your own license to sell real estate, or you can associate yourself with a broker, someone who already did all of the process and negotiated all the terms and the conditions, and specifically for our industry, um, sales contracts with all the cruise lines and all the hotels and everything. And then you can just associate yourself with them, what we call the host agency. So you are partnering with another agency, and they are allowing you to borrow the IATA number and use it as you see fit and then earn commission. What does the host get from it? The host normally gets a portion of the sale. So, for example, you've sold something and received and earned $100 in commission. The host agency will take 10%, 20%, 30%, depending on the host, depending on the options. But that's normally how it works. Normally, the host itself will also charge some fees. There could be a setup fee. There could be monthly fees. So if you are looking into joining the industry, um, unless you're really thinking about creating your own agency, having your own ayata, which I have to say is a very, very difficult thing to do for a person who just starts. It will probably take you a few months to set it up, and then do the contract with all of the cruise lines and all of the hotels, and it's very cumbersome. I probably wouldn't recommend it for someone who's coming in. There is a very, very easy turnkey solution is to go with any of the host agencies, and there's a lot of them. Um, there is a website that I believe I emailed or I messaged some of you who's called Host Agency Reviews, and they're actually doing this week. It's Host Week. So this week there's a lot of interviews on their Facebook page and on their website that what they're interviewing a lot of host agencies on their website as well. There's a lot of reviews, a lot of agents write reviews. If they're happy with their host or they're not happy with their host. I have to say that a host, it's not a one, um, like one fits all. It's not one size fits all. There's some agencies or some agents that, let's say, want to focus on selling Disney or want to sell cruises or want to do more all inclusive or European expedition, everything and anything. There's some host agencies that might specialize in that, those that do more mass market, those who do more luxury. So I think it's best to do a little bit of research before jumping in. There are also other open forums where you can ask questions. Again, I've messaged probably most of you. If not, feel free and message me on Facebook, and then I will share the information with you. You can go, you can log in some of these open to the public groups that you can ask questions. Um, we at Memories Forever also provide a host, but again, I'm not here to try and solicit anyone to come and join us. But if anyone has any questions about that, we can take a look and we can explain that as well. So again, the way that it works, you go and you sign up with a host. I would probably recommend in advance to start preparing your business. So possibly open up a company. A lot of people recommend an LLC, but you can work as a sole proprietor as well. But probably the bare minimum would be to open a company, set up a business account, and then you can start pretty much working, we'll call it working as a travel agent almost immediately. The sign up process is really fast. Filling a few forms, W-9, some information for tax purposes, your bank account, because we need a place where to, send the commission to. And that's pretty much it, technically. It's not as easy as it seems because a travel agent working as an independent travel agent, right? Normally, most of them are IC, independent contractors. Um, they don't work on salary base. Yes, there are positions that you can try and look for travel agents working in a brick and mortar, like an office, and go there. But most of the agents in today's age are home based. They're working from home. I'm personally working from home. I have a team of about 10 agents, and they're all working from home, everyone from their own place. And most of the people that I do in my mentorship program are working from home. So it's very, very popular way to work. You manage your own time. But I have to say that it takes time. It takes time to build your business. If you're thinking, I'm going to start tomorrow, I'm going to start booking for everyone. It seems easy, not a problem. Everyone travels. I keep seeing people on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok just traveling. I just, they can just book with me and I can make money. I wish it was that easy. It does take time. It does take experience. It does take a lot of marketing. So you are a business owner. You're in charge of creating marketing, whether it's through social media or sending emails, maybe attending some events, We got some people doing some booth and tables at, trade fairs. There's a lot of options out there how to try and promote your business, but you have to understand that you are a business owner. Being a travel agent or a travel professional and actually selling travel only comes after you've been able to obtain clients and to obtain people that will be willing to use you. Um, the first circle at the beginning is quite easy. It's normally the, friends or family or possibly yourself, to use as a guinea pig and see how it actually works and sell travel. But I have to say that there's a lot of agents in the industry that are struggling, and it's not as easy as it seems, right? I want to say that the overhead starting the business, the setup fees, the monthly fees, um, and the setup itself, technically all you need is a computer, a phone, and internet, and you're ready to go. So the overhead, the startup cost is very, very nominal, probably one of the lowest businesses to start. Um, if you are looking again for a host, one thing that I forgot to mention, the industry is flooded a little bit with MLM agents, the multi-level marketing. I believe some of you have messaged me that there's some that's called Search 365, IntelliTravel, Pro Travel, something. There's a lot of them that their main focus is just to bring more agents. They don't necessarily train them, and then you have like you bring more people under you and there's more fees, and the goal for them is just to bring and recruit more people. They're frowned upon a little bit in the industry, although there's tons of them. There's tens of thousands of them. So I would highly recommend that you find a reputable host agency that is not focused on recruiting, that is more focused on, possibly training you a little bit. You have to understand that the host agency is like a Microsoft software. They'll give you Windows, they'll give you the keys, but most of the training you will have to do kind of on your own. And that's why or I created this hybrid where we do mentorship program, we do our own small host under a big corporation. So we do get the benefit of a big agency. We're part of about 5,000 agents. So we do have a large buying power, but we are our own group. So that's technically how it works. Another option, or another thing that people do is something that's called travel consortia. I don't know if you've heard of that term. When you did a little bit of research, the travel consortia actually takes lots of agencies and bundles them all together. There's a lot of, and why do they do that? They do it to, again, to get buying power. It's very, very hard to compete with the Expedias, with the Orbits, with, I don't know, with Costco and all of that in terms of buying power. When you combine a lot of travel agents together, a lot of travel agencies together, then you have a much higher buying power that allows you to obtain possible group pricing, possible better terms for your clients, better perks. And that's normally how it works. Again, if anyone missed the beginning, my intro, if anyone has any questions about it, you can put it in the chat if you want. You can unmute and ask the question as well. There's no problem. And then at the end, I'll also have Q&A open. So if anyone has any more questions about any of the subjects, just let me know. When you, in addition to picking your host, I highly recommend that you pick a niche. Again, as I said at the beginning, you might want to sell cruises, you might want to sell all-inclusive, you might want to sell Europe, you might want to sell family travel, or maybe focus more on romance travel, right? Mostly honeymoons, maybe destination weddings. The niches are pretty much endless. It doesn't have to be, I only sell Mexico or I only sell cruises. There's a lot of cross niches that will go together. Luxury and wellness. We have a lot of people who do fire and ice, a lot of Alaska, Iceland, Hawaii, Costa Rica, as a combination. A lot of people do adventure travel. There's a lot of options out there, but I highly recommend that you find something that you like, possibly have personal experience in it. You've traveled there before, you like it, you're passionate about that specific. It's so much easier to sell a product that you've personally experienced and have a passion for. Me, for myself personally, I do mostly Mexico, Caribbean, all-inclusive resorts. And I also do cruises all around the world, river cruise and ocean cruises. I've in the past I've done lots of ski. I've done lots of I'm a Hawaii specialist, and specifically in Maui Nui and Kauai, and so there's tons of things that I have done, but I've decided to focus my niche more on the all inclusives in Mexico and the Caribbean, and cruises around the world. Um, at the beginning, a lot of people are thinking that they can become world specialists. They'll sell Iceland today, Hawaii tomorrow, and then they'll do Asia next week. It normally doesn't work well. You want to try and be as focused as possible towards your niche. The niche can be a little bit wide, but you want to try and be focused. That's how you become a specialist, and then expand if you decide you want to do that. So as I said, lots of training, lots of marketing, lots of sales. It is a sales position. Your people are going to call you looking to travel. You need to have expertise in what it is that you're promoting or recommending. This is their vacation. They took days off. If you some people only take vacation once a year or maybe one every other year. And I would say it's a little bit of a, responsibility to make sure that everything goes well. But it is, it is on you. It's not as easy as it seems. Some people are coming to me and saying, we used to do that a lot for friends. We always booked for friends. People call us and recommend. It is quite a jump to make from I am doing this for my friends as a hobby, and something went wrong. It went wrong. What do you want from me? I'm not a travel professional. You just came to me as a friend. I recommended this because we personally enjoyed it, and that's it. As a travel professional, you have to be the client and think, will they like it? I know I liked it, but let me first qualify the client, understand what they like, what they want to do, in order for me to present the right product for them. So that's very, very important to understand. Again, it's not as easy as it seems, but there's a lot of successful travel agents out there um, that can make this a very, very successful business. For me, this is not a side gig. This is not a hustle. I've been doing this again for 24 years. This is my main business. I don't do anything else besides selling travel. I do the coaching as well, but uh, travel is my main. This is what pays the bill, the mortgage, and more. You can be quite successful. Sammy was asking if I could give an example of an issue that might come up with a client. Oh my God, there are so many issues that can come up. When we do the best practices and we do the actual training for people, we try and prepare for the worst to make sure that nothing happens. But there are situations where it's uncontrollable. You can get to the airport and the flight got canceled. It does happen quite often. You hear that. Flight got canceled, flight got delayed. So the transfer that is waiting for the client to get to the hotel needs to be notified. The hotel needs to know that maybe they're not arriving that day, they're arriving the next day. They can get to the hotel and something went wrong and they don't have a room. They've overbooked. They're on their way to a cruise, and again, flight got canceled. They missed the cruise. They went on the cruise. They forgot the time. They missed the cruise. The cruise left without them. There's so many things that can happen. Medical problems at the destination, people missing flights, forgot the passport at home. We just realized the passport expired. There's so many things that can happen. A good travel agent that has experience will try and avoid all of that. Maybe to have people arrive the day before a cruise. make sure people arrive early to the airport, verify that they have seats, verify that the passports are valid and everything is okay. In terms of liability, there is what we call an E&O, so air and emission insurance. A lot of host agencies offer it as an included perk. Some actually even make sure that you have to have one. So if you don't have air and emission, they won't accept you to the agency. So it depends. There's also a deductible for it. So it's not, okay, I made a mistake, no problem. Air and emission in general is something that is someone that you sent on a cruise or on a tour and someone got injured or died. It's not, oh my God, they didn't like the cruise, they didn't like the resort that I sent, or we booked a swim out for some reason. There was a problem with the swim out, or I don't know, the day before there was a major storm, that whole building doesn't have electricity, so they moved them to another property. This is not where air and emission comes in. Um, this is where normally travel insurance comes in. So a good travel agent will always, and actually part of the mandatory legal things that you have to do is offer travel insurance to people. So travel insurance normally kicks in at things like that. The liability and the thing comes in, major stuff. I don't know, people attending a wedding, something really big. But there are options for it. There is an E&O insurance, roughly between, I want to say $300 to $1,000 a year, depending on the amount of volume that you are producing. So there is an option for it. It's not something that I'd probably recommend for a beginner agent to have if you don't have to, because you're still building your business. I would be more focused on making sure that you don't make the crucial mistakes, right? In our industry, if you missed a letter, you could send someone across the world. We've probably heard these situations where, someone went to, I don't know, there's London in Texas, I think, or London in Canada, or there's several stories that probably you guys have heard about people going to different destinations that they haven't thought about. Any more questions? Anything about how it works, to, or um, the fees, or how it works? Okay. So in terms of training, again, it really depends on what it is that you decide to do. Again, I have the training program. If you want to join to the training program, we do lots of training. In terms of, you mentioned ticketing. Again, there are several types of um, travel agents. There's some travel agents that issue airline tickets. That's not something that I would train a beginner agent. So we are focusing on packages. We're focusing on, again, flights and crews, flights and hotels. And there are ways to bundle everything together and sell it to the consumer. I don't recommend for beginner agents to be an air only agent. First of all, it's not that profitable. Most of the air where it's if it's economy, it's not commissionable. And even if there is commission, it's very low. So not something that I would recommend to do. In terms of advertising restrictions, there are things that you need to mention and need to write there in terms of something that we call seller of travel, but we have those licenses and you just have to make sure that they're listed there. But that's pretty much it. There's no real restrictions. Again, depending on what kind of advertisement that you're doing, if it's just social media versus you're actually doing a flyer, you always want to put maybe some remarks there that, prices can change. It depends on availability, the regular stuff, which again, that's something that easily, we could think of. That's not, in terms of a website, Again, really depends. Most host agencies will not offer a website. For us specifically, again, the model that we specifically I offer is unique as a hybrid, because you have the option either to work under Memories Forever Travel Group as a brand, or you can have your own brand but still use us. If you use our agency, you know, you can get a couple of pages on the website or a profile or things that you can utilize. But if you are doing it on your own, some agents just do a landing page. So just so people will know that they exist. Some just open Instagram, Facebook page. I've been using Facebook page for many years at the beginning, and then I transitioned because I use my page, I use my website for other things as well, for my training program and for consumers. I post a lot of our group pricing. So I utilize the website quite a bit. But for beginner agent, there are cheap options, something like $27 a month, something like that, to have your own website. You do have to buy the domain and do it. But there are really, really easy fixes out there. At the beginning, I wouldn't focus on expenses too much. Try and do minimal, and then once you start making money, then you start investing and putting back more things into your business. Host fees are again, you have the setup fee. Some agencies will charge anywhere between, I don't know, $100 to $400 as setup. Monthly fees are between 25, and I've seen some up to like $100 a month. It depends on what they give you. Some will give you training, some will give you a CRM, so customer relations manager program, itinerary builder, so you can have like a really nice itinerary for your clients, and apps. So it really depends what they bring to the table. Our fees, when we normally bring people in, if they're totally new to the industry, first 3 months we charge. We don't have a setup fee, but we have $75 a month for the first 3 months, and then the fee drops to $25. The first 3 months are the toughest one, and the ones where, you know, I work the hardest, because it's mostly training. There's not a lot of sales going in the first 3 months. Again, as Alana mentioned, similar to real estate, it takes time to understand the market and everything. And after that, again, our fees drop to about 25 to 45, depending on the products that you need. If you need an email from the agency, things like that. And our split, or a normal split in the industry, is normally about 70-30 for people who are starting, and then normally it goes up to 80. And some hosts offer 90%. We personally at our agency offer a max of 85. We don't go to 90, because I think that what we bring to the table and what we have is worth that 5%. But that's personal, you know, personally for our agency. But there are people and there are agencies out there that offer 90% split. Most of them are more like turnkey, right? You need to be self-sufficient. You don't need any assistant. You don't need any training. Now, in terms of training in general, there are a lot of training that is offered by the suppliers themselves. So all of the tourism boards, like Aruba, Antigua, Mexico, they have their own training for the destinations. A lot of the resorts, let's say the Marriott's out there, the Hyatts, they have their own training. The cruise lines, the Royal Caribbean, the Viking River Cruise, all of them have training programs that, again, depending on what you're trying to sell and what you're focused on, you'll need to do the training kind of like on your own, right? In our program, I make some recommendations, again, depending on what your niche is and where you want to go. And so that's up to you, but it's at your own pace. Again, I have to say that even if you pick a different host and you're not using our services, I most of the people that are in my mentorship program are not part of our agency, so we deal with other agents as well. The host, the way that it works most of the time with payments, a lot of the suppliers, so if you book a Royal Caribbean, a Disney, a vacation package, or even if you book through Expedia, Expedia actually sells to travel agents, so we can book Expedia and make money. What you will do is you will take the client's credit card, the payment information, you plug it into the website, whether it's a dedicated website for travel agents, or you go to Marriott.com and you put the client's credit card. The transaction doesn't go through you. Okay. The payment goes directly to the supplier. All you are doing is just collecting the commission. And all the commission goes to the host. They're processing it. Most of the hosts will have reporting. What you'll do is you'll have to report the sale. So I booked this cruise, I booked this flight. You go in, you report it, you put it in the system. Once the commission is received, accounting will mark it. You'll get a notification, commission received, and you'll get the commission minus the split. Again, $100 was received. Let's say you're on a 20-80 split. You get 80, the host keeps $20. No problem, Rebecca, for joining late. Again, this will be recorded and I will share it as well. So I hope I answered Igal regarding how payments work. For the most part, you won't be collecting money directly. There are options where some agents do charge fees. You will have the option to charge clients' credit card directly for booking fees and things like that if you choose to do so. But if you don't, then everything again goes directly to the supplier. All you're doing is just collecting the commission. There's lots of reports out there for you to track all the commissions that are out there, what's about to receive. Something that you have to know, again, starting this business, a lot of people book ahead of time. So we have a lot of people. I have some people who now wanted a cruise for 2026. So if I'm working right now on this cruise and I'm booking them, when I will get the commission normally closer to their departure date, sometimes even after. So if I'm working right now in January, February of 2024 on someone's cruise for January 2026, it will take me about 2 years to see the money. So if you have a lot of people who are booking for, I don't know, the next February break or April break, that's great. You'll get the commission fairly fast. But if not, it will take some time. If you're booking summer vacations, it's gonna take time until you actually see commission. So I highly recommend for people that are coming into the industry to understand this is not fast money. It's going to take a while. First of all, there's the training itself, and then later on, even once you start selling travel, it does take time until you actually get the commission. In terms of training, or once you start working, there's a lot of training that is done, at your house, by yourself online, whether it's recorded sessions, recorded Zooms, or training. There are a lot of conferences and events where there's frontal training as well, so you can attend that. There's a lot of local events as well, that you meet up with suppliers. They'll do presentations, normally with lunch or dinner or things like that. If you're next to a major area, I'm in the North Jersey area, we have tons of them. There are some weeks where I can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner just by attending all of these events, but unfortunately I have to work too, so that doesn't work. But there are lots of opportunity to get in-person travel training as well, but most of it is done online in your house. The mentorship, the way that I do my sessions, again, is either at group sessions. So we'll do group Zooms. We actually have them every week, every Friday, 4 p.m. We have sessions. And then I offer also one-on-one. I have a few people that are part of that, and they get 2 one-on-ones as well. It's mostly online. Last year we did an event in Mexico. So we went on a familiarization trip, and just remind me later about perks. I always get to that last. but we did, in destination training as well. We also meet up at several events. I'm going to be in Vegas with a few of my agents as well in March, and in Punta Cana in March as well. So the mentorship is normally done again like this in a Zoom setting, much more open. Everyone has their camera open, everyone has their thing. I do want to direct you to, where's my screen? So this is my website. Again, not in terms of a sales pitch, but there is one sample of one of our group sessions. I kind of change it from time to time, but this one is about sales. So this is normally how it works. Everyone's from home. We just do the presentation. People are open, they ask questions, and that's how and that's pretty much how it works. All of the sessions that I have, you know what? Let me actually share the screen again, and I will show you how it actually looks, because you need to be signed in. But the way that it works, we have all the sessions that are recorded. So all of them, all the recorded sessions, there's intro to travel, how to work on, all inclusive. We're talking about, training, certification, selling airline tickets, maximizing profit, and lots of sessions. So everything here is recorded. So once you're part of the program, you have access to all of these, and then we keep just doing more and more sessions. So that's how it works. As much hand holding as possible virtually. If you are local, if you're in the North Jersey area and from time to time you want to meet up, no problem. I have a huge office space, so that's not a problem. We can do that too. But it's not normally something that I do on a regular basis. Perks, before I forget, because a lot of people join the industry just for the perks, right? They want to travel, they want to travel for free. Um, is it possible to travel for free? Yes. Is it easy to get to a point where you actually get everything for free? No. It's gonna take a while. There's some options, there's some opportunities out there that will offer a familiarization trip, where the trip is possibly free. You might need to just pay air to get there. There's a lot of cruise lines. For example, I just saw something in the next like 4 days, I think this weekend. MSC was offering a free cruise out of New York for 7 nights. Princess has options. Most of the cruise lines do have some opportunities and options. There are a lot of sell and stay. So you sell X amount of nights or X amount of, with a certain suppliers, you either accumulate points or you accumulate free nights, and you get to use them for your own. It takes time. It does take time. I hate to, but I see a lot of people who are wanting to go into the industry just in order to get the perks. It's not easy at the beginning. They're not, if you just started the business, they don't want to give you free stuff. They want to see that you're actually selling. They want to see that you're actually trying. We do have some options, when we get some free stuff, we move it to the agents or things like that. And, because they're part of the program, because they're part of the agency, we have a say, and, we try and push it so the suppliers will accept. But just so you'll know, if you're coming into the industry, airfare is mostly you have to pay. Everything else in terms of hotels or cruises or things, you can either get the commission for it, or reduce prices, travel agent rates. And if you're lucky and it just all the stars align, you might just get it for free. So just if that, I won't forget that. All right. Anything else? Anyone have any more questions about anything that I've mentioned? I'm just going to go over my notes to see if I haven't forgotten anything. I think I covered everything. But yeah, any open Q&A. Anyone wants to ask a question, you can unmute or write in the chat. The training, when the way that it works for my mentorship program, if you decide to go with a different host, and you can go with other hosts, again, the website that is, again, if I haven't sent you the note, it's host agency reviews, hostagencyreviews.com. let me put it in the chat. There's a list of really, really great hosts out there. Go research, check them out, check the reviews, see what people say about them, educate yourself. There is no perfect host for everyone. It really depends on what it is that you need. There's really, really good ones out there. We're good ones as well. We're a good one as well. So if you are joining my training program, just the training, and you're with another host, the group sessions are $75 a month, which is the same as what I charge for joining the agency. So if you're joining the agency, the training is technically included. And then, as I said, after if you're with another host, then again, it's $75 a month. If you're coming and joining us, after 3 months, we drop the fees to 25 to 45. Really depends on what your needs are. If you need a CRM, if you need an email for the agency, things like that. But that's roughly it. Again, most of them will have setup fees. I don't have a setup fee, but the 3 months are paid in advance. That's about it. Any other questions?
Any specific, hi, Milana, any specific softwares that we should know how to work on or be trained on, or?
No, the program, all of the suppliers have their own booking engines and things like that. If you know if you have ever booked yourself online somewhere, you'll know how to sell. So that's not a big deal. It is, some of them are a little technical. I do have some training sessions that I have done. Some of them are even open, unlike like on social media, and I have a YouTube channel that I post from time to time videos. So there's some training videos and things like that. But all of the suppliers have their own training modules on their systems. You can probably reach out to them and they can set up a training session for you, right? Ultimately, they want you to sell the product, so they will teach you how to use their product. Most of them, the basic stuff is intuitive. There's more complicated stuff that just takes time.
Okay, so as an agent, as a real estate agent, I have to have my own license that I have to put with a broker.
Right.
Is that the same, or do you give me your number? How is it exactly?
Unfortunately, there is no certification that is needed for travel agents. I'm saying unfortunately because that allows a lot of people to just come in, and some of them have no training, have no knowledge, and they'll sell stuff to people, and then they'll say, oh my God, don't use travel agents. I just used a travel agent and him just ruined my vacation because they had no idea what they were doing. So unfortunately, or again, depending on how you look at it, fortunately for you, there is no certification that is needed. All you need to do is just associate yourself with a broker, with a host agency, and that's it. You'll be ready to go really fast, really, really fast. I don't know if you want to go that fast, but technically, if you sign up today, probably by Monday, you'll be able to sell stuff, maybe even sooner. Don't recommend it, okay? But I'm just saying it's doable. Igal was asking about S corps. Yes, I would probably, most that I know do like an LLC and do a sole proprietor. When you start having more and more income, when you have a lot of income and you want to avoid, again, not going, I'm not a CPA, but going in, they have lots of profit and they want to avoid the self-employment taxes, then they convert or do it as an S corp. At the beginning, it doesn't really matter. It's up to you. Just the S corp takes a little more procedures in the back end versus a sole proprietor or just an LLC, filing as a sole proprietorship. So that's mostly what people do. But yes, S corp works as well. You said, Sammy wrote that I mentioned that I have another job. How many hours do you dedicate to being an agent now? I don't have another job. This is my only job. The only other things that I do is I do the mentorship program and I travel. I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook. I travel about 12 to 14 times a year. So I travel once a month. Sometimes I travel twice a month. But that's my work. I always been a full-time travel agent. I started in the year 2000, started working for what we call like a brick and mortar, so an actual office. I worked there for a while, opened up a new branch for that company, then moved and had a chain of, and then just after about 10 years with that company, I opened up my own, and this is how I've been working. But look, I have agents that are doing this as a side hustle, a few hours a day, maybe doing this in the evening, just weekends. People that are getting ready to retire and thinking this is something that they would possibly want to do. Some people only do like 5 groups a year and they travel with the groups. There's a lot of models out there in terms of what it is that you want to do. You have to understand that the more you put in the business, the more potential you have, for the business. If you're just coming and maybe attending my sessions, it's kind of like just coming to class and not doing the homework. So if you're just doing my sessions or any other sessions and maybe posting once a week, hey, I'm a travel agent, book with me, the likelihood of something making like for you to make big is really low. If you would go and like check my Facebook page, right? Everything I post is public. You don't have to even be friends. I post a lot. I focus a lot on my business. When I travel, I post a lot. It works very well for me. There's other ways to do, but we did the New York travel show, not this year because we were on Icon this year, but last year, super successful. We got about like a thousand people booked with us last year.
It's the same. So the first elevator.
Let me
Yeah.
see if I can mute. Okay. All right, good. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do, but the more you put into the business, the more it kind of gives back. If this is the turnkey going into the business, but it doesn't drive itself. You have to learn how to operate the vehicle and sometimes push it and sometimes get some help pushing it, but it's not easy. Everyone has their own way of booking, and people sometimes are weary of working with travel agents because they think they're too expensive or more expensive, or had bad experience. Maybe these newcomers that just came in and sold something just to make money, and then they're not travel agents anymore. Like the real estate, right? You want to work with someone who sells real estate as a full-time, maybe selling 2 houses a month or 10 houses a month versus the one who just does it as a side job and maybe sells 2 or 3 a year, right? You want to work with someone who dedicates his time learning, understanding, and knowing the business. I hope I haven't offended anyone that maybe does something as a side job. You can do a side job really well, but that's normally how people see it on the other hand. Anyone else? Any more questions? Okay. So again, this session will be recorded. I will send everyone who attended the link to the session. If you guys want to, I highly recommend that you first go to the host agent reviews. Check what is out there. Okay, check to see what is out there. I am not saying that our agency is the best host for people. Definitely not. So it really depends on what it is that you want to do, and you possibly know it best. So do a little bit of research, see what's out there. Feel free. You can message me. You can email me. Igal, no, I can't hear you. I see you're unmuted, but I cannot hear you. If you want to maybe write the question, I will answer.
Boy,
Yes.
you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Yes. So, first of all, thank you for putting this together. So I assume that the appeal for customers is essentially the packages, right, or itineraries. Clearly, your typical book a flight and book a hotel. That's something that many people feel comfortable doing by themselves, right?
It really depends. As I've said at the beginning, my focus is actually the Mexico Caribbean. So I do a lot of packages, hotel and flights, which are easy, right? You can go on Expedia and you can say New York, Cancun, there's a list. I will sort it, maybe sorted by price. Looks good, right? 8.4, 5-star. Let's go. But it doesn't really work like that. You can go to a TripAdvisor and see a review, but you will see a 1-star review and a 5-star review for the same property, right? And you'll see other options, and you can go to Facebook and crowdsource and say, what do people think about this one? And then you'll get, oh my God, this was horrible. Oh my God, this was the best hotel that we had. Why? Because myself as a travel professional, when I ask and interview you, and I understand that what's important for you, you want a big hotel or a small hotel. It's important for you to have activities for the kids, or you want adults only. You want a hotel that is not too far from the airport, or so that's what a good travel agent does. He understands what the client wants, and what I call is match make. So you're going to match make the property to the client. So my specialty is to find the right property for you. To actually book it, it's not a problem for people to just book. They don't come for us to just book. They come for the expertise, for what kind of ship should I pick? What kind of itinerary should I go for? What kind of tour will I do while I'm visiting Hawaii? Because this is probably my only time that I'm going to go for, Yes, you could book everything yourselves, but you come to a professional, someone who works in the business, so because they know better. Now, will they have better prices? Sometimes our prices are normally about the same as what is out there. Again, as I said, like the Expedias, the Cheap Caribbean, they're all selling to travel agents, so we can technically book through them anyway. So it's not a price issue. People don't need to come to you to get them a better price. They want you to save the time, offer them the right product that fits them. The only difference between you and the website that you've put in, I have 3 kids, ages 10, 14, 15, is that you're going to ask questions back. What did the kids love to do? What is anyone has any special allergies? What was the hotel that you attended last time? Did you like it? What didn't you like it? When you do that interview, again, we call it qualifying your clients. You understand what it is that they want, and then you offer the best product for them. That's what I try and train agents to do, and also educate their clients what their role is. You are not a booker. You are there to advise and to educate your client and set their expectations to where they're going. Someone will say, I want to take that 5 a.m. flight because I want to be as early as possible because I want to enjoy the property. That means being at the airport at 3. That means leaving the house at 2. That means by 11 a.m. you're done. Like, you're tired. You're somewhere, So, uh, because we still need to keep our CLIA provided. Okay, so a CLIA is similar to IATA. CLIA is the cruise line, similar to the IATA card. Most of the host agencies will offer you a CLIA card or an IATA card, which is kind of like the travel agent ID. Once you hit a certain point in sales, mostly like $5,000 in earned commissions, it is provided normally by the host. I mean, they'll give you an option to acquire that. It costs somewhere between $50 to $95 a year to obtain that card. Some suppliers will require you to present an ID to show that you're actually a selling agent. So again, the question is, do you need your own? You don't need your own. The agency has their own IATA and CLIA number. You do have the option to be as part of their agency list and obtain your own card under them. Okay, we'll have the same number. So I hope I answered your question. Anything else? Any more questions? Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, again, feel free if anyone has any, they want a message, or maybe you want to set up a call, we can chat, but I highly recommend that you first go see what's out there, right? And then come back with actual questions or actual, knowing kind of what you want. Don't rush into it, but this is not a marriage, okay? If you start with one host, you can move to another host. You can even be with two hosts at the same time, okay? So it's a procedure to move from one host to another, but it's doable, okay? Nothing is permanent. You can pick one, see how it goes, and move from there. There's some fees involved, but sometimes it's the right. I've started with one host, it didn't work for me. I moved to another, and I found my home, and I enjoy it. I've been there for a while. That's it. I hope I answered everyone's questions and helped you guys a little bit. And feel free to share if anyone that is interested in becoming a travel agent. And have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.